Captain Lisa Morgan stood on the bridge of the UES Discovery, watching the blue and green planet grow larger on the main screen. 3 months had passed since they left Earth, and this was their first real chance at finding a new home for humanity. The planet looked perfect with its vast oceans and green continents. "Looks good from here," said Dr. Kevin Hayes, the ship's scientist who studied alien life. He was a tall man with gray hair who always carried a tablet full of research notes. "The atmosphere reads perfect for humans. We might have found our new colony world." Jake Carter, the head of security, frowned as he looked at his scanner readings. He was a tough former soldier who always worried about danger. "I'm picking up some strange energy signatures from the surface. Could be technology." Amy Collins, their communications officer, looked up from her station. She was young and smart, always eager to make contact with new life. "If there's technology, that means there might be intelligent life down there. This could be first contact." Lisa felt excited but nervous. As captain, she had to keep her crew safe while exploring new worlds. She had brown hair tied back and wore the blue uniform of Earth's space fleet. "Let's take the shuttle down for a closer look. Kevin, Amy, Jake, you're with me. The rest of the crew stays here." The shuttle ride down to the planet's surface was smooth. They landed in a clearing near what looked like a small city made of tall spires that gleamed like metal in the sunlight. The buildings were different from anything humans had built, with curves and spirals instead of straight lines. "Amazing," Kevin whispered, as they stepped out of the shuttle. The air smelled sweet, like flowers, and they could hear strange musical sounds coming from the forest nearby. They had not walked far when large shapes emerged from behind the buildings. Lisa's heart jumped when she saw them clearly. The aliens were tall, maybe 8 feet high, with dark green scales covering their bodies. They stood on 2 legs like humans, but had long tails and sharp claws. Their heads looked like those of giant lizards with yellow eyes that seemed to look right through them. The largest alien stepped forward. When it spoke, a small device on its belt translated the words into English. "I am War Prime Thesic of the Velkari Empire. You are the humans we detected entering our space." Lisa stepped forward, trying to appear calm even though her heart was beating fast. "I am Captain Lisa Morgan of the Earthship Discovery. We come in peace, seeking new worlds for our people." Thesic's mouth opened, showing rows of sharp teeth in what might have been a smile. "Peace, yes, we can discuss peace. Come, we will show you our ways." The Velkari led them through the city. Lisa noticed that the buildings were beautiful, but the streets were empty. She wondered where all the people were. When she asked, Thesic's eyes glowed brighter. "The weak stay hidden when the strong walk," he said. "Only the worthy survive in Velkari society. The rest serve or become food." Jake's hand moved closer to his weapon, but Lisa gave him a look that told him to stay calm. They needed to learn more about these aliens before making any decisions. Thesic brought them to a large building in the center of the city. Inside, the walls were covered with weapons and what looked like hunting trophies. Some of the trophies looked like they came from intelligent creatures, not just animals. "Your species confuses us," Thesic said as they sat around a metal table. "Our scouts report that humans protect their weak young, instead of letting the strong survive." "This seems wasteful," Amy spoke up, her voice careful. "We believe all life has value. We protect our children because they are our future." Thesic laughed, a sound like rocks grinding together. "Children who cannot protect themselves are weak. Better to let them die and breed stronger offspring. This is the way of all predators." Kevin looked uncomfortable. "We're not predators. Humans work together to survive." "Not predators?" Thesic stood up, his full height making him tower over them. "Then you are prey, and prey belongs to predators." Suddenly, more Velkari entered the room from hidden doors. They all carried weapons that looked like energy rifles. Lisa realized they had walked into a trap. "You will serve the Velkari Empire," Thesic announced. "Your ship will become part of our fleet. Your people will work for us or feed us." Jake pulled out his weapon, but there were too many Velkari. "Captain, we need to run." The humans fought their way toward the door. Lisa was surprised at how fierce Jake and Kevin became when their lives were in danger. Even Amy grabbed a Velkari weapon and used it against their attackers. The aliens seemed shocked that the humans fought so hard. They ran through the streets with Velkari chasing them. Laser blasts hit the ground around their feet as they ran toward their shuttle. Lisa's mind raced, thinking of ways to escape and warn the Discovery. As they ran past a group of rocks near the edge of the city, Lisa heard a small sound. It was like crying, but not human crying. She stopped running and looked toward the rocks. "Captain, we have to go," Jake shouted. But Lisa had seen movement behind the rocks. 3 small creatures were hiding there, and they looked terrified. They were about the size of house cats but looked like foxes with silver fur and large blue eyes. They were clearly intelligent. She could see fear and hope in their eyes as they looked at her. "Help," one of them whispered in a tiny voice. The translator on her belt picked it up. "Please help." The Valkyrie were getting closer. Lisa knew she should run to the shuttle, but she could not leave these small creatures to face the aliens alone. Something deep inside her, the same thing that made humans protect their children, would not let her abandon them. "Kevin, help me get them to the shuttle," she ordered. "Captain, we don't have time," Jake started to say. "We make time," Lisa said firmly. She reached out to the small creatures. "Come with us. We'll keep you safe." The 3 small aliens ran to her and she picked them up. They were warm and soft and she could feel them shaking with fear. At that moment, something changed inside Lisa. These were not just alien creatures anymore. They were her responsibility. The team ran to their shuttle with the Valkyrie right behind them. As they took off, laser fire hit their hull, but they escaped into space. Lisa held the 3 small aliens close as they flew back to the Discovery, knowing that her decision would change everything. Back on the Discovery, Lisa carried the 3 small creatures to the medical bay. The ship's doctor, an older woman named Dr. Helen Stone, looked surprised when she saw what Lisa was holding. "Captain, what are those?" Helen asked, preparing her medical equipment. "Survivors," Lisa said simply. She set the creatures down gently on the medical table. They stayed close together, their large blue eyes looking around the room with curiosity and fear. Kevin ran his scanner over them while Helen checked for any diseases they might carry. "They're clean," Helen announced. "No harmful bacteria or viruses that could hurt humans. But Captain, we don't know anything about their biology." Jake stood by the door, still worried about security. "Those Valkyrie will come looking for them. And for us. We might have just started a war." Lisa looked down at the 3 creatures. They were beautiful, with silver fur that seemed to shine under the medical bay lights. Their faces were fox-like, but their eyes showed intelligence that reminded her of human children. One of them reached out a small paw and touched her hand. "Amy, can you try to communicate with them?" Lisa asked. Amy brought her translation equipment to the medical bay. She worked for an hour, running different programs and trying various frequencies. Finally, the computer made a connection. "Hello," said a small musical voice. One of the creatures, the smallest one, had spoken. "Hello," Lisa said back, kneeling down to be at their eye level. "I'm Lisa. What are your names?" The small one who had spoken first said, "I am called Whisper of Dawn in your words. This is Sky-Touched Light." She pointed to the medium-sized one. "And this is Fortune Findsway." She indicated the largest of the 3. "Those are beautiful names," Lisa said. "But they're long. Would you mind if I called you Hope, Star, and Lucky?" The 3 creatures looked at each other and seemed to have a silent conversation. Then Whisper of Dawn, now Hope, nodded. "We like these names. They sound friendly." Kevin sat down near them with his tablet. "Can you tell us about your people? About the Valkyrie?" Star, the middle child, spoke next. Her voice was sad. "The Valkyrie hunt us. They killed our parents yesterday. We hid in the rocks, but they were coming back to find us." Lucky, the largest, added, "They use young Nixari for their growing-up ceremonies. Young Valkyrie must kill 3 of us to become adults." Lisa felt anger rise in her chest. These were children, and the Valkyrie hunted them like animals. "How many of your people are left?" "Not many," Hope said quietly. "Maybe a few hundred hiding in secret places. The Valkyrie have hunted us for many years." Jake crossed his arms. "Captain, I understand why you saved them, but we have to think about the whole crew. The Valkyrie have weapons and ships. If they come after us, then we'll deal with it," Lisa said firmly. She reached out and gently stroked Hope's fur. The small creature moved closer to her. "We don't abandon children, that's not who we are." Dr. Stone finished her scans. "They need food and rest. Their bodies show signs of stress and hunger. Whatever they've been through, it's been difficult." Lisa nodded. "Amy, set up quarters for them near my cabin. They'll need to feel safe. Captain, Kevin said carefully, Earth Command won't like this. We're supposed to avoid contact with alien species until we understand them better. Earth Command isn't here, Lisa replied. I am, and I'm not leaving these children to be hunted. Over the next few days, the 3 Nexari cubs settled into life on the Discovery. They were curious about everything, following Lisa around the ship and asking questions about human technology. They learned quickly, understanding how doors worked, and even helping with simple tasks. Hope showed a talent for sensing emotions. She could tell when crew members were sad or worried, and she would try to comfort them. Star seemed to understand patterns and helped Amy organize data files. Lucky was brave and often stayed close to Jake, watching how security worked. The crew was divided about having the aliens on board. Some, like Dr. Stone and Amy, enjoyed having them around. Others worried about the risks. But everyone noticed how the cubs seemed to make Lisa happy. She had been carrying the weight of command alone for months, and now she smiled more often. They're not just cute, Kevin told Lisa one evening as they watched the cubs playing with some crew members in the common room. They're incredibly intelligent. Hope understood our gravity controls after watching someone adjust them once. Lisa nodded. She had been thinking the same thing. They're not pets, Kevin. They're people. Small people who've been through something terrible. That night, Lisa found the 3 cubs curled up together in their new quarters. When they saw her, they ran to her like human children running to their mother. Lisa, mother, Hope said, using a term they had started calling her. Are we safe here? Lisa knelt down and hugged all 3 of them. They were warm and soft, and they trusted her completely. Yes, you're safe. I won't let anyone hurt you. The Velkari will come, Star said quietly. They always come. If they come, we'll be ready, Lisa promised. This is your home now, you're part of our family. Lucky looked up at her with his large blue eyes. What is family? Lisa smiled. Family means people who love each other and take care of each other no matter what happens. Family means you're never alone. The 3 cubs looked at each other, then back at Lisa. We like family, Hope said. As Lisa tucked them into their beds, she thought about what she had done. She had risked her ship and crew for 3 alien children. Some people would say she was wrong, but looking at their peaceful faces as they slept, she knew she would make the same choice again. She had always been a good captain, protecting her crew and following orders. But now she was something more. She was a mother to 3 children who needed her, and she would do anything to keep them safe. The next morning, alarms rang throughout the ship. Amy's voice came over the communication system. Captain to the bridge. We're receiving a transmission from Velkari ships. They're demanding we return their property. Lisa looked at the 3 cubs who had run to her when the alarms started. They were trembling with fear. Remember, she told them gently. You're family now. I don't give up family. Lisa rushed to the bridge with the 3 cubs following close behind her. On the main screen, Warprime Thesek's fierce face stared back at them. His yellow eyes seemed even more dangerous than before. Human captain, Thesek's voice boomed through the ship's speakers. You have stolen property that belongs to the Velkari Empire. Return our hunting prey immediately. Lisa stood straight, her hands clenched into fists. Behind her, Hope, Star, and Lucky pressed close together, fear making their silver fur stand up. They're not property. They're children under the protection of this ship. Thesek laughed, showing all his sharp teeth. Children? They are Nexari. They exist to be hunted by young Velkari warriors. It is their purpose, their only value. You understand nothing about the natural order. I understand plenty, Lisa said, her voice growing angry. I understand that you hunt children for sport. I understand that you think might makes right. But you're wrong about one thing. These children have value because they're alive, not because of what you can do to them. Jake stepped forward, checking his weapon systems. Captain, I count 6 Velkari ships surrounding us. Heavy weapons, military grade. Thesek's image leaned forward on the screen. You have 48 hours to return our prey. If you refuse, we will take them by force. Your ship will be destroyed, and your crew will join the Nexari as hunting targets for our young warriors. The screen went black. Lisa turned to look at her crew. They all watched her, waiting for orders. Some looked scared, others angry, but all of them looked ready to follow her lead. Opinions? Lisa asked. Kevin spoke first. Captain, they have superior firepower. 6 ships against 1. The logical choice is to negotiate. With what? Amy asked sharply. They want the Cubs. There's nothing else to negotiate. Jake checked his security panels. We have good shields and weapons, but not enough to fight 6 ships. If we run, they'll chase us. Dr. Stone, who had come to the bridge, added, Those children trust us. If we give them up now, we're no better than the Velkari. Lisa looked down at Hope, Star, and Lucky. They understood enough to know they were being discussed. Hope stepped forward and took Lisa's hand in her small paw. Lisa, Mother, Hope said quietly. You should give us to them. We don't want your ship family to be hurt because of us. Lisa knelt down to Hope's level. Do you want to go with them? All 3 Cubs shook their heads quickly. No, Star whispered. They will hurt us. Kill us, then you're not going anywhere, Lisa said firmly. She stood up and looked at her crew. These children are part of our family now. We don't trade family members to save ourselves. Lucky tugged on Lisa's uniform. The Velkari are very strong. How can you fight them? Lisa smiled down at him. Humans have a saying, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. We might be smaller, but we fight differently than they do. Over the next day, the crew prepared for battle. Jake organized defense teams and weapon systems. Amy worked on communication jamming to confuse Velkari coordination. Kevin studied the sensor data about Velkari ships looking for weaknesses. The Cubs wanted to help. At first, Lisa told them to stay safe in their quarters, but they kept coming back to the bridge. We know things about the Velkari, Star explained. Things that might help. What kind of things? Jake asked. Hope closed her eyes and seemed to concentrate. There are 63 Velkari on the ships around us. Most are excited about the hunt, but 12 are worried about fighting humans. Lisa stared at her. How do you know that? Nexari can feel emotions from far away, Lucky explained. It's how we stay hidden from predators. We know when they're coming and what they're feeling. Kevin's eyes went wide. That's incredible. You're natural empaths. What's empaths? Star asked. It means you can sense what others are feeling, Amy explained. That's an amazing ability. Jake leaned forward, interested now. Can you tell us anything else about the Velkari ships? Hope concentrated again. The biggest ship has someone very angry. Much angrier than the others. That's probably their leader. Thesek, Lisa said. Can you sense anything about their battle plans? Nexari don't understand fighting, Lucky said sadly. We only know how to hide and run. Then that's what we'll teach them we do too, Lisa said, an idea forming in her mind. But humans don't just hide and run. We protect what we love. As the deadline approached, Lisa called all her crew to the bridge. Even the Cubs were there, sitting in a corner but listening to everything. The Velkari think like predators, Lisa explained. They expect us to either surrender or fight them head on. We're going to do neither. She pointed to the star chart on the main screen. There's an asteroid field 2 hours from here. We're going to lead them there and use the asteroids for cover. Jake, can our weapons target individual asteroids? Yes, but why would we want to shoot rocks? Lisa smiled. Because when you break up big rocks, you get lots of little rocks flying in all directions. And little rocks can damage big ships if they're moving fast enough. Amy caught on first. We're going to create a debris field and use it as a weapon. Exactly. Kevin, how well do Velkari ships handle small, fast-moving objects? Kevin checked his data. Their shields are designed for energy weapons and large projectiles. Small debris could get through. Hope raised her small paw. Can we help? How? Lisa asked. We can tell you what the Velkari captains are feeling. If they're scared or angry or confident, it might help you know what they're planning. Lisa looked at Jake, who nodded slowly. It could work. Knowing their emotional state could tell us if they're about to attack or retreat. The Cubs spent the next hour learning how to describe what they sensed in ways the humans could understand. They practiced with the crew, identifying emotions and learning military terms. When the deadline arrived, Thesek appeared on the screen again. Time is up, human. Return our prey or be destroyed. Lisa stood with the 3 Cubs beside her. They were scared but trying to be brave. I told you before, Thesek. These children are under my protection. If you want them, come and take them. Thesek's roar of anger echoed through the bridge. So be it. You will learn why the Velkari rule this sector. Attack. The 6 Velkari ships began moving toward the Discovery. Lisa gave the order to retreat toward the asteroid field, but not too quickly. She wanted the Velkari to think they were winning. "How are they feeling?" she asked the cubs. Hope closed her eyes. "Excited, confident, they think they're hunting prey that's running away." "Perfect," Lisa said. "Let them think that. Jake, are the weapons ready?" "Ready, Captain." Lisa watched the asteroid field grow larger on the screen. Behind them, the Velkari ships followed like predators chasing wounded prey. But Lisa wasn't prey, and neither were her children. She was about to show the Velkari what happened when you threatened a human's family. "Enter the asteroid field," she ordered. "Time to turn the hunters into the hunted." The Discovery flew into the asteroid field with the 6 Velkari ships close behind. Large rocks floated through space like a 3-dimensional maze, some as big as buildings, others as small as cars. Lisa had to trust her pilot to navigate through them safely. "They're still confident," Hope reported, her eyes closed in concentration. "They think we're trapped." Jake targeted the largest asteroids near the Velkari ships. "Ready to fire on your command, Captain." "Wait," Lisa said. "Let them get deeper into the field. Starlucky, what are you sensing?" Star focused on the enemy ships. "The ship captains are feeling pleased. They think they have us cornered," Lucky added, "but some of the warriors are nervous. They don't like flying through the rocks." Lisa smiled. The Velkari were used to open space battles, not fighting in asteroid fields. "This would be their advantage. Fire!" Lisa commanded. Jake's weapons hit 3 large asteroids simultaneously. The rocks exploded into thousands of smaller pieces that flew in all directions like a deadly cloud. The debris cloud spread quickly, and the Velkari ships had to change course to avoid being hit. "Now they're surprised," Hope said, "and angry." 2 Velkari ships fired back, their energy beams lighting up the space around the Discovery. But the human ship was smaller and faster, ducking behind asteroids for cover. Amy worked at her communication station, sending false signals to confuse the Velkari sensors. "I'm making it look like we're in 3 different places at once." The battle became a deadly game of hide-and-seek among the floating rocks. The Discovery would appear from behind one asteroid, fire at another asteroid to create more debris, then disappear behind a different rock before the Velkari could target them. "Their formation is breaking up," Jake reported. "They can't coordinate when they can't see each other clearly." But then something went wrong. One of the Velkari ships got lucky and hit the Discovery with a direct shot. The ship shook violently and lights flickered on the bridge. "Hull damage on Deck 7, Dr. Stone reported from her medical station. "We have injured crew members." During the confusion, Star tried to help by running to Amy's communication station. But a second blast hit the ship and Star was thrown against a wall. She cried out in pain as she fell to the floor. Lisa saw her daughter hurt and felt something she had never experienced before. Pure protective rage filled her mind. This was her child and someone had hurt her. "Kevin, take Star to medical," Lisa ordered, her voice deadly calm. "Jake, new battle plan. No more hiding, Captain?" Jake asked, surprised by her tone. "They hurt my daughter," Lisa said, her eyes never leaving the screen where the Velkari ships were regrouping. "Now we hurt them back." The Discovery suddenly changed tactics. Instead of hiding behind asteroids, it flew straight at the largest Velkari ship. The enemy captain was so surprised by this direct attack that he hesitated for a crucial second. Jake fired everything they had at point-blank range. The Velkari ship's shields failed, and explosions tore through its hull. The ship spun out of control and crashed into a large asteroid. "One down," Lisa said coldly. The other Velkari ships tried to surround the Discovery, but Lisa's fury had spread to her entire crew. Amy hacked into Velkari communications and sent orders that confused their battle plans. Kevin, even though he was a scientist, took control of the defensive weapons and used them with deadly accuracy. Dr. Stone left the medical bay and came to the bridge, her face grim. "Star has a broken arm, but she'll be fine. She wants to come back and help." "No," Lisa said firmly. "She stays in medical where it's safe." Hope and Lucky stood close to Lisa, both of them sensing the change in their human mother. "You're different now," Hope said quietly. "Yes," Lisa replied, not taking her eyes off the battle. "Someone hurt my family. That changes everything." The cubs seemed to understand something about human nature in that moment. They had seen Lisa as kind and protective before, but now they saw the fierce side of human love. When humans loved someone, they would fight with everything they had to protect them. 2 more Velkari ships tried a coordinated attack, coming at the Discovery from opposite sides. But Jake anticipated their move and fired at a massive asteroid above them. The rock broke apart and rained down on both enemy ships, damaging their engines. "They're scared now," Lucky reported. "The Valkyrie captains are feeling fear for the first time." "Good," Lisa said. "They should be scared." War Prime Thesic's voice came over the communications again. "Impossible. You are prey. Prey does not hunt predators." Lisa activated the visual communication so Thesic could see her face. "You're wrong about humans, Thesic. We're not prey. We're protectors. And when you threaten what we protect, we become the most dangerous thing in the galaxy." The battle continued for another hour. The Discovery used the asteroid field like a three-dimensional fortress, always moving, always attacking from unexpected angles. The Cubs helped by telling Lisa what the enemy captains were feeling, giving her insights into their next moves. When the Valkyrie tried to retreat, Jake damaged their engines with precisely aimed shots at small asteroids that created debris clouds in their path. When they tried to regroup, Amy jammed their communications. When they tried to call for help, Kevin blocked their signals. Finally, only 2 Valkyrie ships remained functional, including Thesic's flagship. The others were either destroyed or too damaged to fight. "Enough," Thesic roared over the communication system. "We withdraw. Keep your precious prey!" "No," Lisa said quietly. "You don't get to just leave." Jake looked surprised. "Captain?" Lisa's voice was still calm, but there was steel in it. "They came here to hurt children, to hunt my daughters and son for sport. People who do that don't get to just fly away and try again later." She opened communications to all the Valkyrie ships. "This is Captain Lisa Morgan of the human vessel Discovery. You came here planning to kill children. That makes you enemies of humanity. Leave this sector and never return. If any Valkyrie ship approaches Nexari space again, we will consider it an act of war." Thesic's image appeared on screen one last time. His yellow eyes showed confusion and something that might have been respect. "You fight like no prey species we have ever encountered." "Because we're not prey," Lisa repeated. "We're family. And family protects family." The remaining Valkyrie ships limped away into deep space. Lisa watched them go, making sure they were really leaving. Only when they disappeared from sensors did she finally relax. She turned to find Hope and Lucky looking at her with wide eyes. "Are you still our Lisa mother?" Hope asked quietly. Lisa knelt down and hugged them both. "Always. That's exactly why I fought so hard. Because you're my children, and I will never let anyone hurt you." Dr. Stone's voice came over the communication system. "Captain Starr is asking for you. She wants to know if we won." Lisa smiled for the first time since the battle started. "Tell her yes, we won. And tell her that her mother is coming to see her right now." As Lisa walked toward the medical bay with Hope and Lucky beside her, she realized something had changed forever. She was no longer just a ship captain following orders from Earth. She was a mother protecting her children in a dangerous galaxy, and she would do it again without hesitation. 6 months had passed since the battle in the asteroid field. Lisa sat in her captain's chair, watching Hope, Star, and Lucky work alongside her human crew on the bridge. Star's arm had healed completely, and she now wore a small blue uniform that matched the human crew uniforms. The Cubs had grown taller and stronger, but more importantly, they had become full members of the Discovery family. Hope worked with Dr. Stone in the medical bay, using her emotion-sensing abilities to help treat crew members who were stressed or worried. Star had become Amy's assistant in communications, her pattern recognition skills helping to decode complex signals. Lucky worked with Jake in security, his natural caution and ability to sense danger making him an excellent guard. "Captain," Amy called out, "we're receiving a transmission from the Galactic Council." Lisa raised an eyebrow. The Galactic Council was a group of alien species that governed this part of space. They had been monitoring the situation between humans and Valkyrie for months. "Put it through." A being that looked like a tall, thin tree with glowing leaves appeared on the main screen. This was Speaker Elm of Many Worlds, the Council's representative. "Captain Morgan," Speaker Elm said in a voice like wind through branches, "the Council has reached a decision regarding the human presence in this sector." Lisa felt nervous. The Council could order humans to leave this part of space if they wanted. "We're listening, Speaker Elm." "Your species has done something unprecedented," the speaker continued. "You risked your lives and your ship to protect children of another species. This act has been observed by many worlds in our sector." Hope moved closer to Lisa's chair, sensing her nervousness. "The tree being feels respect, not anger." she whispered. Speaker Elm continued. The Council has voted to grant humanity protected status in this sector. Furthermore, we are formally recognizing the Nexari as an independent species under human protection. Lisa felt relief wash over her. Thank you, Speaker Elm. What does this mean for my children? Your adopted cubs will be considered the first Nexari ambassadors to humanity. They will help both species learn from each other. Lucky stepped forward. He had grown confident over the months and now spoke clearly in human language. What about the other Nexari? The one still hiding? Speaker Elm's leaves rustled in what might have been a smile. That brings us to more good news. Word of human protection has spread throughout Nexari hiding places. Many are emerging from their secret colonies and asking to join human space as allies. Star's eyes grew wide with excitement. Really? There are more of our people alive. Over 300 Nexari have made contact with Council ships, Speaker Elm confirmed. They wish to meet the humans who saved their species from extinction. Lisa felt tears in her eyes. When she had picked up 3 scared cubs 6 months ago, she never imagined it would lead to saving an entire species. Kevin looked up from his science station. Speaker Elm, what happened to the Velkari? Have they kept their word about staying away? War Prime Thesek has been removed from power by his own people, Speaker Elm explained. Many Velkari were disturbed by their defeat at human hands. They are reconsidering their hunting traditions. Some young Velkari have even asked to learn human ways of protecting the weak instead of hunting them. This surprised everyone on the bridge. The idea that their enemies might become allies seemed incredible. Amy received another signal and looked confused. Captain, I'm getting a transmission from Earth. It's Admiral Chen. Lisa felt worried again. Earth Command had not been happy when they learned about the alien children aboard the Discovery. Put her through. Admiral Chen appeared on a smaller screen next to Speaker Elm. She was an older Asian woman with gray hair and a stern expression. Captain Morgan, I've been speaking with the Galactic Council about your situation. Admiral, I can explain. No explanation needed, Captain, Admiral Chen interrupted. Your actions have opened peaceful relations with dozens of alien species. Earth Command is promoting you to Admiral and placing you in charge of our first diplomatic fleet. Lisa's mouth dropped open. She had expected punishment, not a promotion. Admiral Chen smiled. Your report about human protective instincts has changed our entire approach to alien contact. We're sending more ships with families aboard, not just military crews. Apparently, having children makes humans better diplomats. Hope tugged on Lisa's sleeve. What's Admiral mean? It means Lisa Mother is now Lisa Admiral Mother, Star explained, having learned about human military ranks. Lisa laughed and picked up all 3 cubs in a group hug. It means we get to help more children like you find safe homes. Over the next few hours, communications poured in from across the galaxy. Other alien species had heard about the humans who fought to protect alien children. Some wanted to make alliances. Others wanted to learn human customs of child protection. Dr. Stone came to the bridge with a data pad full of messages. Lisa, we're receiving adoption requests from 17 different species. They want humans to help protect their endangered young. Jake shook his head in amazement. 6 months ago, we were explorers looking for a new planet. Now we're running an interstellar adoption agency. Lucky climbed onto Lisa's lap and looked at her seriously. Are you happy with what happened? Lisa thought about the question. She had lost her quiet exploration mission, gained enormous responsibilities and made enemies of a powerful species. But she had also saved 3 lives, discovered a new form of family, and helped change how humans interacted with the galaxy. Yes, she said simply, I'm happy. A year later, the Discovery had become the flagship of humanity's diplomatic fleet. The ship now carried 12 different species of alien children, all under human protection. Hope, Star, and Lucky had become teachers, helping newly rescued children adapt to life with their human families. Lisa stood in the ship's new nursery, watching human children playing with alien cubs. The room echoed with laughter in 6 different languages, but happiness sounded the same in all of them. Amy approached with another message. Admiral, we just received word from the Nexari colony ships. They've established 3 new worlds in human space. They want to name the capital city after you. Lisa shook her head. Name it after Hope, Star, and Lucky. They're the ones who started all this. Hope overheard and came running over. She was almost as tall as a human teenager now, but she still liked to hug Lisa when she was excited. Really, a city named after us? You three changed the galaxy, Lisa told her. You taught humans that family isn't about species or biology. It's about love and protection. Star joined them carrying a human baby who had been crying. The baby was now sleeping peacefully in her arms. The little ones don't care what species we are. They just want to feel safe. Lucky, now wearing the uniform of a security officer, nodded seriously. That's what humans do best, make everyone feel safe. Lisa looked around the nursery at all the different children playing together. Humans, Nexari, and many other species all growing up as one big family. War Prime Thesic had been wrong about humans. They weren't predators or prey, they were protectors. And in a dangerous galaxy, that made them the most important species of all. That evening, Lisa made her final log entry for the day. Admiral's Log. Stardate 2387.4. Today we welcomed 6 more rescued children aboard the Discovery. Hope continues to serve as ship's counselor. Star has been promoted to head of communications, and Lucky leads our security training programs. Earth Command reports that human diplomatic missions have been successful in 47 star systems, all using our family protection model. I no longer think of myself as an explorer or even as an admiral. I'm simply a mother who happens to command a starship. And in this galaxy full of wonders and dangers, I can't think of any job I'd rather have. End log. As Lisa prepared for sleep, 3 soft knocks came at her door. Hope, Star, and Lucky entered quietly, something they still did when they needed comfort. Bad dreams again? Lisa asked gently. No, Hope said. Good dreams. We dreamed about all the children we've helped save. Star curled up on Lisa's couch. We wanted to say thank you again for choosing us. Lucky sat on the floor beside them. In our dreams, we saw the Velkari homeworld. Some of their children are learning to protect instead of hunt. The galaxy is changing. Lisa smiled and hugged all 3 of her first children. The galaxy changed because you 3 were brave enough to trust a strange alien who found you hiding in the rocks. Best choice we ever made, Hope said sleepily. As her children settled down for the night, Lisa looked out her window at the stars. Somewhere out there, other children needed protection. Other families needed to be formed across species lines. Other hearts needed to learn that love was stronger than fear. And humanity, led by 3 small aliens who had taught them the true meaning of family, would be there to help. The predator had claimed them as prey, but the human had asserted them as her own, and in doing so she had changed the entire galaxy.